As someone who grew up in a rural area and who built a house on the farm I grew up on and lived there, and my children attend the same school I do, I certainly support people being allowed to live in a rural area. And that's not to say that planning shouldn't be sustainable. It must be, and the environment must be protected. But we have to be fair to people who wish to live and want to live in a rural community. And I mean, I see depopulation occurring in many rural areas, and it's having a detrimental effect on the community. Like we see the schools closing, we see sports clubs having to amalgamate and so on. And I particularly think of West Cavan in my constituency as an area that is extremely depopulated. And you see houses, vacant houses, some of them derelict, dotted around the place. So people did live in this area at one time. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to live in that area again in the future. But I think all new county development plans should incorporate detailed local strategies based on the housing needs demand assessment. And so we need to reverse or prevent population decline. And I think those plans need to also include how the local authority will meet the social housing need for those who wish to live in a rural area. Again, because Cavan and Monaghan is a largely rural area, I have people who qualify for social housing who don't want to live in a town or village. They come to me and they fill up the form and they say rural housing is an option. They take the option, they have a site, but the local authority are not building houses and haven't done so in years for social housing applicants. And I think that needs to be addressed as well. And even if they don't want to build it, there are enough derelict houses in the countryside that they could buy and actually convert into social housing for people. And I see people doing this because it's so difficult to get planning in the rural area now. So they're buying up derelict or vacant houses and doing them up, and that's welcome. It's great to see, and the Croí Connor grant helps with that. But I don't think it's sufficient in and of its own to incentivise that, and it needs to be increased. And I just think that a derelict site levy, we've proposed it in Sinn Féin. It would reduce levels of dereliction in rural areas and improve transparency as well. And getting planning permission is extremely difficult in rural areas as well. It's costly also, and you're paying huge development levies, and you're not getting the services that you're getting in a town or a city, and that needs to be addressed. So I think the new rural housing guidelines need to simplify the planning process and reduce the cost of the process. And obviously farmers need to live on their farms, but there are many other people who also need to live in a rural area. Maybe the teacher teaching in the local rural school, the vet who wants to be close to the people that he serves, and so on.